At this point, it's not even a shock anymore. It becomes like a norm. And it's sad to say that.
This was a scene of a mass shooting in East Baltimore. 6 people were shot here Wednesday night in the 1200 block of Patterson Park Avenue. A 38-year-old woman died. It was the first of at least 3 shootings across the city in less than 12 hours. Early Thursday morning, police say a 29-year-old was shot in the head inside a home on the 1700 block of North Milton Avenue. The department says a 26-year-old woman who was also there was shot in the chest and she died. A few hours before that, police say a 16-year-old boy was shot and killed on North Edgewood Street in West Baltimore.
You know, it's a shame that the younger generation, they don't even have a chance to live them lives.
WJZ has learned he was a student at Edmondson Westside High School.
It's sad. It really is. It really is. It's sad. He's a neighbor on the block. Nice young man.
Officers were in the block Thursday knocking on doors. The deputy commissioner said the department is turning over evidence in every case, and they're focused on catching the lawbreakers.
What I can say we're doing is out focusing on the people and the places that we know crime happens. We're focused on the small percentage of community members that have been participants in the violent crime.
21 years of service, and those were the last words of Fire Captain Josh Laird after eventually dying from injuries from a devastating house fire Wednesday. The burning 5,300 square foot home still carries the heartbreak from that fateful afternoon.
When you have little kids at home and you realize you could have very well been the one not going home to them the next morning.
Home is where wife Sarah and 2 children are left behind.
You want to go back in your fire truck at the end of a call, so yeah, it's hard to wrap your head around it.
Maryland is in a state of mourning. U.S. and state flags are at half staff, with Governor Larry Hogan saying, quote, "We extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, fellow firefighters, and all those who loved him." County Executive Jan Gardner called Josh a hero.
I went out in the driveway to see where the smoke was coming from, and then I heard the crackling. And I thought, oh my God, their house is on fire.
He was as kind as they come, even to strangers.
And I heard about a fireman that was injured. The next morning when I woke up, I saw his picture, many articles, and I saw his picture, and I cried. I said, that is the same man that was so nice to us in the gas station.
The father, husband, and mentor with invaluable leadership leaves behind a legacy, but there is one more gift as we say goodbye to the man who gave so much.
They say it all the time, we're a family and a brotherhood, so Josh was unique, and maybe I can fill that void. He lectured me enough. Maybe I can start being that voice of reason and be a little bit more level-headed.
The post office is now working to build a more stable workforce after months of frustrating mail delays.
Coming here a lot, I know that they need a lot of help.
USPS is now hosting job fairs at locations across the Baltimore region to fill many of their open positions, like this one held in Westminster on Tuesday. The agency says it's investing in new employees to bring better service to customers.
Speed up deliveries a little bit and stuff, and people won't be complaining that they don't get their mail on time.
Marylanders have experienced both delayed and sporadic mail throughout the pandemic, causing packages and letters to be late and countless other problems. Some of those applying today say they're hoping to help the post office improve its service.
Postal service is an intricate part of everyday life. They help you do what you need to do. And basically, that's what I want to do, is help.
Ransom Watkins is one of 10 men who now have their freedom after being wrongfully convicted of murder and spent decades in prison.
My name is Ransom Watkins. I spent 36 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit.
His story is now being used as motivation in the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office.
At the end of the day, as prosecutors, we do not want an innocent person sitting in jail.
A team of attorneys make up the Conviction Integrity Unit. There's also a former police detective. They meticulously review cases of people who've been convicted for major crimes, and if they find that there's evidence that proves someone is innocent, they fight to get them out of prison.
When the criminal justice system has gone completely awry, it's rare, but when it does happen, we really have an obligation to make sure that we're there and we're able to correct it.
Anyone can submit an application to have their cases reviewed, and since the program started, State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby said 10 men who were wrongfully convicted have been released.
And so the same way that we advocate for victims of crime is the same way that when the evidence exists, for us to zealously advocate for those that have been wrongly convicted and incarcerated.
These men, known as the Harlem Park Three, spoke with Vic Carter in an exclusive interview after their 2019 release. Convicted for murder as teenagers, attorneys proved that the evidence used to lock them up was tainted, and that's how they got out of prison. Today, they're part of the Faces of Actual Innocence campaign in the state's attorney's office that's trying to prevent this from happening again.
When you beat down so bad, I understand why you give up, right? I was there at that point when they locked me up for a murder I didn't commit.
This week, Maryland health officials said the state pushed past a major milestone. More than 80% of people 12 and older now have at least one COVID-19 vaccine shot. And on this Labor Day weekend, the movement continues.
We hope that providing free admission helps to encourage more and more people to come down and get vaccinated. And really help us get out of this pandemic.
From the National Aquarium to places of worship, many different groups are coming together with a united mission.
Trying to get folk to understand some of the facts related to the vaccine, to deal with some of the phobias.
According to the Maryland Health Department, more than 3.7 million Marylanders are now fully vaccinated.
To all of our residents who have rolled up their sleeves and gotten their vaccine, thank you.
Howard County says they were the first in the state where 70% of the entire population there is fully vaccinated. But they're still trying to get more people on board.
Getting the vaccine now is your best protection against severe illness and death from the virus.
During its weekly COVID-19 briefing, Johns Hopkins experts said more people are getting vaccinated nationwide, but there's a reality check. Daily caseloads are higher now than what we saw back in June.
Obviously, we'll take any glimmer of good news we can get, but it shouldn't lead to complacency because we still are in very serious circumstances.